Bloodlust. The hunger began subtly, a faint tremor beneath Elias Thorne's skin, a whisper in the back of his mind. At first he dismissed it as stress, the long hours hunched over ancient texts in the university archives taking their toll. He was a historian, a man of facts and reason, not fanciful notions. But the whisper grew, morphing into a gnawing ache, then a burning thirst that parched his throat even after gallons of water. It started with small things, a morbid fascination with newspaper articles detailing violent crimes, a lingering gaze at the butcher's shop window, the crimson sheen of fresh meat. Then came the dreams. Vivid, grotesque nightmares of crimson rivers and the metallic tang of copper on his tongue. He'd wake in a cold sweat, his heart hammering, a strange sense of loss clinging to him like a shroud. One evening, while working late, a paper cut on his finger bloomed crimson. Elias watched, mesmerized, as a droplet welled up, glistening under the fluorescent lights. An unfamiliar impulse surged through him, primal and undeniable. Before he could process the thought, his tongue darted out, lapping at the blood. The sensation was instantaneous, electrifying. A wave of euphoria, warm and intoxicating, washed over him, chasing away the gnawing thirst. It was fleeting, a mere spark, but it ignited something dark and ravenous within him. The subsequent days were a blur of escalating desperation. Elias found himself driven by an insatiable need. He began with animal blood, discreetly buying raw meat from obscure butchers, consuming it in the privacy of his apartment. The relief was temporary, the hunger returning with an even greater ferocity. He knew, with a horrifying certainty, what it truly craved. His once meticulous research now focused on ancient cults, on forgotten rituals, on anything that hinted at the monstrous appetite that consumed him. He found fragmented texts speaking of a sanguine curse, a forgotten plague of the blood, passed down through lines long thought extinct. Elias traced his own lineage, a chilling discovery confirming his worst fears. A distant ancestor, a reclusive nobleman from the medieval period, was rumored to have succumbed to a similar affliction. The transformation was gradual but relentless. His skin grew paler, almost translucent. His eyes, once a placid blue, deepened to a near black, glinting with an unnatural intensity. Sunlight became an irritant, the vibrant world outside his window seeming dull and muted compared to the vivid, pulsing darkness within him. The first human victim was an accident, or so Elias told himself. He was walking home late, the hunger a monstrous roar in his ears, when a figure emerged from the shadows, a mugger, blade glinting. Fear, then a surge of something far more potent coursed through Elias. He moved with a speed he didn't know he possessed, disarming the man, his hands closing around his throat. The scent of fear, mingled with the coppery tang of the man's sweat, was overwhelming. And then the bite. Primitive, savage, his fangs, newly elongated and razor-sharp, pierced flesh. The warm gush of blood, vital and exhilarating, filled his mouth. It was ecstasy, oblivion, a communion with the very essence of life. He drank until the mugger's struggles ceased, until the world swam in a crimson haze. When he came to, the mugger was a pale, empty shell, and Elias was staring at his own blood-stained reflection in a shop window. He looked monstrous, alien. He was no longer just Elias Thorne, historian. He was something else, something ancient and terrible. The subsequent killings were not accidental. Each one was a desperate attempt to sate the beast within, a futile chase after the fleeting euphoria that blood offered. He became a phantom in the city's underbelly, preying on those who wouldn't be missed, the homeless, the drug-addicted, the forgotten. The police reports, which he followed with a detached fascination, spoke of a new serial killer dubbed the Thirster by the tabloids. Elias felt a morbid pride, a perverse sense of accomplishment, but the relief never lasted. The hunger always returned, more potent, more insidious. He was a prisoner in his own body, a slave to an insatiable thirst. He tried to fight it, locking himself away, chaining himself to his bed, but the primal urge was stronger than any will. He would tear at his own flesh, gnaw at his bones, driven to madness by the deprivation. One night, as dawn approached, painting the sky in hues of bruised purple and sickly orange, Elias found himself staring at a photograph of his sister, Sarah. Her smile was bright, innocent. He remembered her laughter, the warmth of her embrace. A wave of profound despair washed over him, a chilling realization that he was losing himself, becoming a monster beyond redemption. He couldn't risk it, couldn't risk turning his bloodlust on the people he loved, on the innocent. There was only one way to stop it, to break the curse that bound him. He found a secluded spot by the river, the air cool and damp. The city lights glittered in the distance, a silent testament to the life he was about to relinquish. The hunger was a torment, screaming for release, for one last drink, but Elias fought it, his gaze fixed on the murky waters of the river. He thought of the dust motes dancing in sunbeams in the archives, of the scent of old paper and ink, of the intellectual thrill of discovery. He thought of Sarah, her kindness, her unwavering love. He thought of the man he once was, a man of reason, of knowledge, a man who contributed to the world, not preyed upon it. With a deep, shuddering breath, Elias Thorne, historian, stepped into the cold embrace of the river. The water closed over his head, a final chilling release. The hunger raged, then slowly, agonizingly, began to fade. The dark thirst that had consumed him finally, mercifully, went silent. The body was discovered days later, bloated and unrecognizable. The police dismissed it as another drowning, another forgotten soul claimed by the river. No one connected it to the string of unsolved murders, the elusive thirster. But in the quiet corners of the city, in the shadowed alleys and forgotten places, a whisper lingered, a chilling echo of an insatiable hunger. And sometimes, on moonless nights, a faint, metallic scent would drift on the wind, a reminder of the bloodlust that had once walked among them.